our speaker for today, Caplan. Michelle is a Canadian marketing and fundraising professional with experience developing and executing successful nonprofit marketing programs, online fundraising campaigns, and public awareness initiatives. She has worked with organizations in Ontario, Alberta, Florida, and New York, and currently serves as Director, Marketing and Communications with Ronald House Charities, Southern and Central Alberta. Prior to starting at the house in December, which is pretty new there, Michelle helped develop the world's largest epilepsy awareness initiative, Purple Day, which I think we're most familiar with, managing the creation, design, and dissemination of marketing communications reaching more than 13 million people in over 120 countries worldwide. So please welcome Michelle.
Okay, I feel like I should get up on this step now. Extra foot that I've always wanted. Michelle, thank you so much for the great introduction, and thank you also for welcoming me today with our quick change of plans. Today I want to talk to you guys about content and impact. So, as everybody here knows, content is so essential to your social media, to all of your marketing, whether it's traditional, whether you're doing media buys, whether you're doing advertising, whether you're doing print, whether you're doing direct mail. Content is so important. But I want to start out by just asking you guys a few questions to get a better idea of who is in the room today. I'm just wondering who currently manages their social media for the business organization they work with. Awesome. And how many of you guys are either entrepreneurs or small business owners or work for a small business? How about a medium-sized business? How about a giant corporation? Okay, a couple. Awesome. And what would you say that your level of knowledge about social media is? Does anybody here feel that anything I talk about today, they probably already know it? Be honest. Okay, well that's good. How about, does anybody feel they could get some improvement with their social media strategy, especially their content strategy? Okay, a few people. Awesome. So I just want to start with a stat. I'm sure everybody here knows it. 93% of people globally have at least one social media account. And when we think of how many people are in this world, it's a pretty compelling statistic. So there's no excuse anymore. My audience isn't on social. Your audience definitely is. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about how to create and share impactful content, simple social blogging strategies, Facebook video and why it's important, incorporating social proof in your social marketing and email marketing, and 5 tips and tricks to make the best of social in 2016. So I wanted to start off by talking a bit about content specifically and content that's shareable. So whether that's blog posts, maybe articles, or other content on your website, what works? I know that a lot of you are social media managers and likely have a ton of experience managing social and managing all of your incoming messages and all of the comments and everything that comes along with managing social, but I know that we all struggle with what are we going to post today. So something I want to talk about was what makes great content. So first of all, this post is just from our McDonald blog out of Calgary, and I want to talk a little bit about compelling copy. So obviously keep it short, keep it simple, concise, use links, but most importantly, when in doubt, reach out to somebody in the community. Ainsley had a great point. Reach out to the blogging community, and one example I wanted to give, I recently worked with Women in Need Society, and they run a bunch of thrift stores in Calgary, and we needed more content for the blog, but there was limited resources, as I'm sure many of you face, there was limited people, and there was limited time. So we decided, let's reach out to the DIYer community, and let's reach out to the fashion blogger community, and see who would be interested in either contributing a guest post to our blog or in letting us share a post from their blog on ours. And to our great surprise, tons of people said yes. And I think that that's something that you could leverage for your business as well. It's not only something that applies to a charity, but when you're short on content, reach out to people in the community. It's a win-win. You know, you give them attribution, look back to their social media, their blogs, their websites, and everybody benefits. And I think that's just something really good and helpful to remember. Obviously, also incorporate nice imagery at the end of the presentation. I'm going to give everybody a bunch of tools that will help with that. And again, probably, obviously, incorporate social sharing so that your audience is able to share what you post. Now, I know that WordPress and other blogging platforms can sometimes be intimidating, time-consuming, or maybe you just don't have anybody to do it. So something that's really up and coming, in my opinion, right now is social blogging. So I have a couple examples up here that I was going to talk about today. You'll see on the left, if you can see it, Liz Ryan. She's an HR guru, and she does her blog on LinkedIn. Initially, I was a little wary of it. She launched it right when LinkedIn allowed you to start posting longer posts, and it's actually been hugely successful. It's not only allowed her to connect with her audience on LinkedIn, but it's also allowed her to expand that audience across her other channels by cross-posting and also sharing those posts on her website and other mediums. And then front and center, everybody will probably recognize this gentleman. It's The Rock. And he is using Instagram with an adorable photo, of course, of him and his two dogs, wet in the pool. And he has incorporated a really long post. So that's something that we often see now, especially with celebrities, but I think that there's a real opportunity for small business and even big business to start using Instagram as a blogging tool. You can have up to 2,200 characters in your comment section now. So I think that that could be extremely good if you're looking for an easy channel to get out your content, especially if you have a lot of images to share. And one other thing about Instagram, it's worth noting that Instagram usage has doubled since 2013. So it's definitely a channel to share compelling content and a really good way of connecting with a broader audience for a blog as well. So video, I know we all hear this all the time, share video is the #1 shared form of content, but a really interesting stat, by 2019, online video will account for 80% of global internet traffic. And again, that is a massive statistic. So what do we do with it? We have limited time, we have limited money, we're not all video experts, and if you're me, you don't have time to manage YouTube, making the videos, Facebook, and all these different things. So what do? Where do we post? I think the answer is Facebook. A new statistic, Facebook videos are now shared 157% as often as YouTube videos, according to social makers. And that's a pretty big statistic. Facebook's also recently updated their video platform and how it looks, obviously with instant video, but also just when you're inside of looking at somebody's videos. So this is a clean new look that you might have seen recently. And on Facebook, there's also a lot of other advantages in addition to having all of your content posted in one place as opposed to YouTube and Facebook. Facebook also allows you to drive people back to your Facebook page and get more fans because you can embed these videos directly on your website, in your blog, and whatever other channels you choose, and then you not only expand awareness on those channels, but also by gaining new fans in cross-promotion. Oh, I should also mention, when posting on Facebook, it's a really good idea to test out the call to actions. At the end of your video, you can add in calls to action. Most of you might already be familiar with this, but test it out. It's a good way of not losing your audience and trying to ensure your audience converts to where you're trying to get them to go at the end of the video. So visit our website, maybe sign up for our e-newsletter, maybe buy a certain product or learn more about a product. That's all very helpful. And now on your videos page as well, on your Facebook pages, on your business account, you can add playlists. So you can sort all of your videos. So if you have 10 product videos, 10 get to know our staff videos, and maybe a bunch of different other divisions of videos. You can put those into playlists so anybody who goes there is able to easily find what they're looking for. And one other thing, obviously put a feature video on your homepage if you haven't, on your page if you haven't already, because that will show up above your best section in your photos for everybody to see. All right, help. I need some content. This is me every single day. So a really good feature, again, and I know this presentation is really Facebook heavy, my apologies, but a really good way of finding some content is through your pages feed, and that might seem obvious, but sometimes I myself forget that I can go to the pages feed and in one place find all the different pages that I've liked and all the content that they've been sharing that's got the most engagement. And sometimes if you're, in a pinch, that's a great place to find new content. With that said, there's lots of other great tools out there that can help you find relevant content to your industry. So, set up Google Alerts for different industry topics, set up, Google News searches, do those when you have a chance. And then there's also tools like Content Gems, which allows you to set up keyword searches and reminders, and then have that information sent directly to your email account with relevant articles and different content. It is a freemium model, so you do not get as much, of course, if you're not going to pay for it, but it's still worth checking out. So most importantly, and I wanted to share some of my experience working with nonprofits and how you can also use that for your business. So one thing I want to talk about was real people and real stories. I think a lot of the time, I'm also a small business owner, we forget that our clients are the most interesting part of our business in a lot of cases. And so this example on the left is from Charity Water, and it was about a 78-year-old man who for his 78th birthday did a fundraiser where he danced 78 consecutive steps of a waltz to raise $7,800 for Charity Water. But instead of just putting, our fundraisers are awesome, they shared a specific story. And then the example on the right is from Alex's Lemonade stand, which is taken off across pretty much the entire United States. And she's raising funds for ALS, and it just sort of talks about where the stand is right now and what's going on, and then what one of the fundraisers that's working with her is doing. So we can use that same strategy for businesses by sharing about your clients. Ask your clients to share photos, ask your clients to share their own blog posts about your products, and then leverage those and share what your real people are doing. So the same thing can be true. I want to touch on email marketing. How many people here regularly run email campaigns? Okay, awesome. So again, the example on the left is from Charity Water, and it's an email. Charity Water is much more unique than a lot of other charities out there. They send specific emails featuring new fundraisers with new programs that they think people would be interested in getting involved in. So in this particular email, it's a young girl, she creates artwork, and people can purchase the artwork, and she donates all the funds to Charity Water. So in this email, they include the story, they include a link to learn more about this little girl, what she's doing. They also include a link where you can donate to her campaign, and then, obviously social sharing. So how can you use this for a business? Social proof is really important these days, and I think that people resonate with people. So a great example of how to use this in email marketing, on the right-hand side is an email that you might not be able to see from Envision App. And Envision App features a real designer who's using their platform, as well as a quote from him. And then it also says at the bottom of the email, more than 300,000 designers at great companies use Envision, just like this one. And it's connecting the audience directly to somebody using the tool. To take that one step further, you can also connect people with that person directly. You could link to your website where they can learn more about that individual's story. Or perhaps you do a video chat where people can log on and speak with that person directly. So for email lists, in order for your content to have the greatest impact, I just wanted to touch on segmenting your list. So here's some really interesting statistics from MailChimp. They measure stats across segmented campaigns and non-segmented campaigns. I can give you the specifics. So this was in March of 2015, and they looked at 2,000 clients who sent 11,000 segmented campaigns to 9 million people. So it was a pretty big study, and they found that over 14% people were more likely to view segmented campaigns, so a campaign that was targeted directly to them. There was a 61.9% higher click-through rate, and also segmented emails had 6.9% fewer unsubscribes. So what can we segment our emails by? You can do anything from demographic information, so whatever information you collect on your customers, you can segment by. So if you know their gender, if you know their preference for your products, if you know where they live, if you know the product that they just purchased. That's actually my favorite example. Let's say you own a fashion store and somebody purchased a shirt, but now you have a scarf in your store that also looks great with that shirt. So you send out an email to the people who purchased this really best-selling shirt and say, we now have this awesome scarf. So those people feel that your communication was much more targeted to them, and hopefully are much more likely to come back in to your store. I thought I'd also quickly talk about personalized communications. I'm sure everybody knows including information about your customers or your donors is really important. I just wanted to show a cute example from Now Foundation, mainly because it's cute, and how they customize emails. So I made a donation, and then I got an email, Dear Michelle, thank you for your generous contribution. Your donation helps Now Foundation provide us cats with the care and shelter we need to live happy, healthy, fur-filled lives. It also ensures Meow is able to continue offering valuable programs and services to the Calgary community, including a program that helps find us new loving homes. Below, please find confirmation of your donation. Your cat, crossed out tax receipt, will be sent in a separate email. Thank you for your support. Love, Patty Paws. And Patty Paws was the cat that I actually sponsored. So you can use your emails in pretty specific ways by leveraging the different fields of data that you are collecting and then adding them into your emails based on who you're sending them to. So this wouldn't be a Red Deer social media breakfast presentation if I didn't touch on Brenda's own initiative. And I want to talk about how it's really important to remember that sometimes your customers, your clients, your donors are your best ambassadors. In fact, a lot of times. So if you give people the power and the tools to share your message and the good content, amazing things can happen. So the example on the left is actually from Brenda's group. The Real Housewives of Red Deer. So it was a group who wanted to contribute to our Home for Dinner program at Ronald McDonald House here in Red Deer. And so it was a way to leverage individuals to come in to cook as a group if they on their own didn't have a large enough group to come in. And Brenda was able to get so many people and provide so many dinners. And again, this was just by her having the information about what we do at the house and setting up her own social media. And then on the right-hand side, Halen. Halen is one of our youngest supporters at the house. He's 6 years old and he sells ice cream along with many other initiatives now to raise funds for us, and he's raised thousands of dollars. And again, he's now using our messages on his social media and able to gain a much, much bigger following from around the entire world. And we're seeing people now coming to our accounts from his. So I know that was a bit off topic, but 5 tips and tricks, and hopefully this is the most useful part of the presentation, to make social media the best in 2016. So obviously social media management is so crucial. Personally, I hired a social media coordinator. I think if you do have the ability to do that, that can be your best possible investment. Somebody who can be responsive, who can manage all of your channels, who can have that unified voice, and who has the time to respond to every comment, every post, every message. With that said, I did want to talk a little bit about Facebook's new native interface for management. And I think that there's a lot of really good things you can now do right from within Facebook that will save you time and obviously money from using another tool that you have to pay for. If you go into your notifications page from your business page, you can now actually see every single notification, shares, posts, likes, comments, and all activities, so reviews, and check-ins. And then you can actually select which ones you've seen, which ones you followed up on by marking them as read, or you can mark them as unread if you have to come back to it later. So just another way that Facebook is making things easy. Of course, there's also tools like Hootsuite, which are free, and bigger tools such as Falcon Social, which has a much more robust platform. So inbox improvements too have also greatly helped us manage Facebook, especially for us social media managers who are working by ourselves. Has everybody seen the new inbox? So in there, if you haven't noticed, on the very right-hand side now, when people send you messages, you are able to see specific information about that individual. And another really cool feature is you can have keywords and tag what that person's communication was about. So maybe you're having an event, maybe you get inquiries about a product. Now you can add in a keyword, and then when you're looking for all of your customers who were interested in a specific product or had a question, you just type in your keywords and you can find all those conversations. So number 2, plan with the content calendar. There's so many awesome tools right now. There's Trello, which is an example people into sales. And what I would say to that is, I think that the charity sector, what we do, we post, we try to keep our social media up, but we know that not every single person who likes our pages or follows us on Twitter is going to become a huge donor. So instead, it's our responsibility to steward these people in order to get them to subscribe to our newsletters, maybe to sign up to volunteer, to get excited and interested in our organization, and then through that, hopefully make a donation. So the same thing can be applied to a business as a customer retention strategy. And I wanted to give an example that actually happened yesterday to me. So I reached out to Revlon on social media, and I just said, hey, my favorite hair color is no longer sold at Walmart. I'm super sad. Where else can I find it? And Revlon wrote me back pretty quickly and said, yep, it's still sold in Canada, and here's where you can find it, and we'd love to send you a box to thank you for your support. I said, as your mailing address. So I thought, well, that's really great, and it was really great of them to do on social, because that's where I contacted them. They followed up right away, but what we did next was even better. So yesterday, in the mail, and I was looking for another slide in this presentation, in the mail I got a letter, which I brought right here, from Revlon, handwritten with the hair color, and it said, hi Michelle, you can find your favorite shade of Revlon Color Silk hair color at Rexel and Pharmacy. We'd love to see your Color Silk hair look, so please feel free to share a photo with us. Thanks for being such a great Revlon fan. And what did I do? I immediately posted the letter on social media, tying it right back to Revlon, and probably bringing them a lot more business, and all because, of a social media comment that they followed up on, and then, carried over into, well, essentially a handwritten note. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So last but not least, reach out. So don't forget to engage your key influencers, try running a contest, use hashtags and mentions, thank your new followers, and share content with your audiences that they want to hear. This year, useful content is going to be king. It's not just random content anymore, it's content that your customers can actually use. So if you are a fashion business, your customers probably are interested in the latest trends. Maybe what fashion bloggers have to say. If you're in the automobile industry, maybe your customers are more interested on the latest car trends. And those are all great things. And then obviously share, test, and repeat. See what works for you, and see what your audiences like. And then last but not least, I just wanted to post a quick slide about remembering that each social network is different. I know I focused a lot on Facebook today, but there is a great opportunity across all different networks. I don't know if you can see this slide, but I can send it later. And just, to remember not to send everything in the same kind of cross-sell channel, that your content will have more impact if you're able to distribute it. And obviously connect it back to your website and to your other assets so that you get some cross-promotion. That is pretty much all today. I hope you received some good, learned something out of this. And if you have any questions, you can hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and my Twitter handle is @meow.com. It's crazy happening.
So with this segmented list of layouts, how do you propose to find all this content about people when they don't even want to give you their email address on their first page? It's kind of a double-edged sword sometimes.
Right, no, I totally agree. I think that's where sometimes running a contest, whether that's through your social channels or even traditionally in store, you incentivize people. And I think that people now rely on being incentivized in order to give their information. But it's also a great way, even if they don't give you their demographic information, if they are able to give you their email, to set up notes in people's files or to create a field in your email marketing system for things like what's this person's bio. But I do think it comes down to incentivizing those customers, and again, podcasting, giveaways, that type of thing, to get them to initially sign up for a newsletter.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Good job.